We use two methods for checking for the correct valve timing and see if it's out. One is we use a lab scope, and the other is, of course, visually inspect the timing mark on the gears. Now this is a normal cam and crank alignment for a 2.2 liter engine. And you can see that we have the cam signal in the blue and a crank signal in the red. And we can see the trailing edge of the wide cam signal goes right in the center of the wide crank signal. Now if the timing belt has jumped, stretched, changed something, if the valve timing has changed, you'll see something like this. Now we're not looking at the shape of the pattern, we're just looking at the alignment. You can see it no longer goes where it's supposed to, down the center of the wide crank signal. So when you see something like that, you're going to suspect that you have a valve, a cam and crank alignment timing or valve timing problem. So you can clearly see the difference on this 2.2 engine that had a bad misaligned cam where the belt had jumped, as opposed to the good one on the bottom. Now this is a 6-cylinder with a different pattern. It's not the same one we just showed you. And you can see there's an alignment here. The 3 events on the cam on the top, the trailing edge of the 3rd event is lining up with the 1st event of the crank signal 4 events. So you can see that we find the alignment here, and we're always looking for the alignment so we can tell if the cam and the crank are aligned correctly. On this 4-cylinder, you can see the short edge, the short width of the cam this time aligns, that trailing edge lines with the trailing edge of the crank sensor. So that is one way to tell and suspect that you have a valve timing or a cam crank alignment, a timing belt timing chain problem. And you're still going to have to go down and look and see if the aligning marks align. Ensure that the timing belt hasn't jumped or broken completely. It isn't always easy to check, but no matter how difficult it is, don't guess. Look to be sure. When a belt or a chain has to be replaced, you must check to see if it's an interference engine. And we have an example here of a horribly worn belt. If you're working on an interference engine, you have to check to see if any valves were bent when the valve timing changed. You will now be returned to the selection menu. Make the selection based on your test results.